Hello, welcome to EPG Pashala Spanish. My name is Nabil Ansari and I teach Spanish in the Center of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian and Latin American Studies in Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. We are in the paper entitled Spanish Grammar 1. In this module entitled Hola, soy yo, you will learn greetings and saying goodbyes in formal and informal context, using and understanding culturally appropriate gestures, and asking about somebody's well-being. So greetings, let's start with greetings, which is known as saludos in Spanish. So when you meet someone who speaks Spanish for the first time, you start a conversation by saying hello. Below are some formal and informal greetings. The formal greetings are Buenos días, Doña Eugenia, o buenos días, señor Rahul, ¿cómo está usted? And the reply is, bien, gracias, ¿y usted? Or, muy bien, gracias. Now, what do all these means and how do we say hello and what are the other greetings in Spanish? So, let's start with the informal greetings. Informal greetings are hola. For example, hola Antonio, ¿cómo estás? Estoy bien, ¿y tú? Regular, chao. So informal greetings that we have just seen are hola. So hola is quite informal. Now there are many ways to say hello in Spanish. Some are used in the formal conversation that you have just listened, and the others are used in the informal ones. The formal greetings are used when you don't know the other person, when you are talking to your superiors or elder people, and when you want to show respect to someone. Informal greetings are used with your friends, juniors, or someone with whom you have friendly relations with. Now, hola, which is hello, this greeting is used in both formal and informal contexts, and it can be used at any time during the day or night. Buenos días, which is good morning. Sometimes a shortened form buen dia or buenas is used in informal context. So good morning, buenos dias is very common to be used normally in formal as well as in informal context. Then same way, buenas tardes means good afternoon or good evening. Buenas tardes is used in the early evening in preference to buenas noches. Buenas noches means good night. Unlike the English equivalent, buenas noches can be used as a greeting late evening as well as a farewell. So buenos dias means good morning, buenas tardes good afternoon, and buenas noches good night. And hola is hi, which is normally used in an informal way, but at times it can also be used in the formal context. As you can see, there is a difference in number and in use of greetings in English and Spanish. English divides the day into 4 different parts, while Spanish only distinguishes 3. Therefore, there is also a difference in use of these greetings. Buenos dias is used from dawn to lunchtime, which from the Hispanic point of view falls sometime in between 1 and 2 or even 3 if we are talking about Spain. Now, buenas tardes is used after you have had lunch until the sunset. So in Indian system, it is always like better to say buenas tardes after 12. Buenas noches is used only under a starry sky, or it's a greeting as well as a farewell, which means that buenas noches is used only at night. So please keep in mind not to use buenas tardes at midday and buenas noches before dusk. The use of buenas noches varies in each country since the sunset may differ. To simplify things, keep buenas noches for when there is no sunlight. After an initial greeting to ask about somebody's well-being, the following questions can be asked. In a formal situation, we can say, ¿Cómo está usted? Which means, how are you? And in an informal situation, we can say, ¿Cómo estás? Which means, how are you? Same way, in a formal situation, you can also ask, ¿Cómo le va? Which means, how it's going. And in an informal situation or context, you can ask, ¿Cómo le van las cosas? Or same way, in formal situation, you can use ¿Cómo le va? Or ¿Cómo le van las cosas? Which means how it's going or how are things going. And in informal situation, you can say ¿Cómo te va? Which means how it's going. Or ¿Cómo te van las cosas? Which means how are things going. Same way, in an informal context, you can say ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué tal? Or ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué onda is typical to Mexico. So ¿Qué hay means what's going on? ¿Qué tal? What's up? And ¿Qué onda? Which is a Mexican Spanish, which means what's up. Now you must have noted that an upside down question mark or exclamation points are used in Spanish in the beginning of any question, which is unique to Spanish language only. So in any question which you will see, the question mark will be before the question as well as after the question. Apart from these expressions that we have just seen, there are others. For example, ¿Qué tal? Or ¿Qué hay? Which means what's up. ¿Qué pasa? Which means what's happening. ¿Cómo andas? Which means how it's going. ¿Qué cuentas? Which means what's new. ¿A ti todo bien? It's a very colloquial greeting used only in Spain, and it means what's up, oh man, or what's up, dude. So the answers to the above questions could be one of the following depending on the situation. So if someone asks what's up, what's going, we can reply by saying estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? So this is can be used in a formal situation, which means I'm fine, thanks. And you? So estoy bien means I'm fine. Gracias means thanks. ¿Y usted? Means and you. So it can, and you can be added to any question after you reply. So it means, okay, if someone asks you a question and you reply, and then you can add "y usted," which means you're asking the same question to that person, which means and you. And if we are talking about an informal situation, so instead of saying "y usted," you should say the pronoun. You should use the pronoun "tú" and say "y tú," which will mean and you, but it is informal. So you can say bien y tú, fine and you. And there are other possible answers as well. When someone asks you how you are doing, so you can reply genial, which means fantastic or great, or estoy muy bien, or very well, así así, or so, más o menos, or regular, which all means so. Or you can also say no estoy bien or estoy mal, which means I am not well, or muy bien, which means very well, or muy mal, very bad, fatal, which is terrible. Or you can say, if you're not well, you can reply estoy enfermo or estoy enferma. Estoy enfermo if you are a male, and estoy enferma if you are a female. Or if you are tired, you can say estoy cansado if you are a male, and if you are a female, you can say estoy cansada, which means I am tired. Greetings are more than just words, so it is also quite common in Spain to kiss twice on the cheeks from left to right when you meet a person. This is normally practiced among women or women and men, and men can hug each other in a informal situation. For formal situations, both men and women just shake their heads. However, although the gesture of shaking hands is a well-known gesture, the distance between the participants is less than in the British cultures. So do not panic when people you have just met get close to you or they give you two kisses. That is in Spanish known as dar dos besos. It is very normal for them to give two kisses, which is not for us. Now, being introduced to people requires some expressions. For example, when you are being introduced or you are introducing yourself to someone, then how do we do that? We do by using some expressions. For example, you can say Hola, soy, and the name, ¿y tú? ¿Quién eres? Or ¿cómo te llamas? And the person replies, Hola, yo soy, and the name, and you reply mucho gusto, and that person replies igualmente. Now let's see in a conversation the same dialogue. So the same, let's listen in conversation between two people. The dialogue is, Hola, soy Carlos, ¿y tú quién eres? ¿Cómo te llamas? Hola, yo soy Sergio, mucho gusto. Igualmente. Now the translation of this conversation is, hello, I'm Carlos, what about you? What's your name? I'm Sergio, nice to meet you. Same here. I'm sure that you have noticed that the above conversation used tu form in the verbs. In Spanish, we use the tu form when we are introduced to people that are younger or same age as us. For example, in the conversation, we have used ¿Y tú quién eres? ¿Cómo te llamas? Now, for more formal situations, we have to address the other person with usted form. So, let's see. Buenos días, me llamo Carlos. ¿Y usted? ¿Cómo se llama? Which means, good morning, my name is Carlos. And you, what's your name? Buenas, yo soy Sergio. Which means, good morning, my name is Sergio. Es un placer. Means glad to meet you. Y igualmente means likewise. So this was a conversation, the same conversation, but in a formal situation. The other options for replying are es un placer, o igualmente, o es un gusto, o es un placer también. So all these are some of the options that can be used. Es un placer means like it's a pleasure. So you are saying that it's a pleasure meeting you. Apart from that, there are others. For example, es un gusto conocerlo, or es un gusto conocerle, which means it's a pleasure knowing you. Or mucho gusto en conocerlo, same thing. And if it's a first encounter, then you can say es un placer conocerte. That is, it's a pleasure knowing you. Or es un gusto conocerte, that it's a pleasure knowing you. So this le is es un gusto conocerle, or lo is used in a formal situation, and this te is used, that is un placer or es un gusto conocerte, is used in an informal situation. So remember, this situation is very important while talking in or while speaking in Spanish. That is, whether you are having a formal conversation or you are having an informal conversation. So you should keep in mind, because the use of words varies in these two situations. Sometimes you need to introduce someone you already know to a new person. Now the way you do this in Spanish is through demonstrative pronouns or the words like este for a male or esta for a female, estos for two or more males and females, and estas for two or more females. But demonstrative pronoun is also used in introductions pointing to the person. For example, if I say este es Juan, it means that this is Juan. If I say esta es Carmen, means this is Carmen. And if I say estos son Martín y Sandra, then it means these are Martin and Sandra. And if I say estas son María y Carmen, means that these are Maria and Carmen. So este for male and esta for female. Estos we use for male and female together, and if there are only females, we use estas. Now let's listen to the conversation in various situations. Now it is advisable for you to listen to these conversations several times and try to imitate the words that you are listening. The more you practice, the easier it will be for you to get familiar with Spanish pronunciation. En la oficina de turismo. Buenos días, ¿es usted el señor García?
Sí, soy yo.
En la panadería. Hola, señora Ruiz, ¿cómo le va?
Bien, hijo, ¿y tú?
Oye, Isabel, ¿qué onda?
¿Todo bien? ¿Y tú?
Bien, mira, esta es Pilar, mi hermana.
Hola, Pilar, encantada. Mucho gusto.
En casa.
Hola, Juan, ¿qué tal?
Mal, mami, me duele la cabeza. En la universidad.
Hola, ¿quién eres?
Soy Juan, ¿cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Pedro. ¿Cómo estás?
Fenomenal, ¿nos vemos?
Yo.
As you have seen about in the conversations, different people have been addressed. These words are called subject pronouns or personal pronouns. What is a subject pronoun? A subject pronoun is a personal pronoun such as I, you, he, she, we, and they. It carries out the action expressed by the verb. So as you can see here, in singular, we have subject pronoun I, that is you, that is tu, he, that is el, she, that is ella, usted, it is a formal you, and in plural, in first person plural, we have we, that is nosotros or nosotras, vosotros, that is you all or more than one person, and vosotras, and for they we have ellos, ellas, and for you or you all formal we have usted, ustedes. Now let's see what these personal pronouns refers to. Now it's very clear that yo means I, because yo cannot be used for other person except the person who is speaking. And tu is you, which is informal, so it's also clear. El, ella, usted. El is he, ella is she, and usted is formal you. But nosotros has got two forms. We can be, in Spanish, can be said in two ways, that is nosotros or nosotras. Now nosotros is used when we refer to more than one male and when we refer to a group which consists of both males and females. And nosotras, meaning we, it is used only when we refer to females. So if there are only females, then we use we for we use we, and in Spanish it is nosotras. Same rule applies for vosotros and vosotras. So vosotros, males or males and females, and vosotras, only females. And you must pay attention that usted and ustedes, it can be abbreviated also. So in the text that you read, at times they don't write usted, or they will just write usted as ud or bd, and ustedes will be abbreviated as uds or bds. Now you should remember that in English it is necessary to use subject pronouns, but in Spanish if the subject is clear and we don't need them, then the verb forms in Spanish makes it clear who the subject is. So there is no need to use the subject pronoun. Now there is always confusion when to use tu and when to use usted. So as we have just explained you earlier, tu is informal you and usted is formal you, but both tu and usted means you. So you should just have to be careful when to use tu and when to use usted, because in English the formal and informal way of referring to someone as you doesn't exist. So in English there is only one word you, which we can use in formal way or also in informal way, but in Spanish we have tu and usted. Now as we mentioned, usted is used for politeness and is a more formal and respectable way of talking to someone. For example, meeting someone of higher rank, a new acquaintance, a stranger, or an older person. Thus it can be used for showing respect to anyone. And tu is used when you're talking to someone with whom you are familiar, for example, your friend, children, family, someone of your own age, or anyone with whom you are acquainted with. It shows a certain level of closeness with the concerned person. Now, use of vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes. So, vosotros and vosotras also means you or you all, and ustedes also means you and you all. But vosotros is used in informal context and ustedes is used in formal context. And there is a slight difference between the use of vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes in Spain and in Latin America. So in Spain we use vosotros form, but in Latin America we do not use vosotros form and we normally use ustedes form while referring to you all, either in a formal way or in the informal way. Now, after asking the person's name and after talking about the pronouns like I, you, we, all these, and after introducing and after having seen how to wish someone, we ask for their phone numbers. So the next step is how to know or give a phone number when we talk to someone for the first time or as and when we need it. To get this information, that is to asking for someone's phone number, we have two options. One is you ask question like ¿cuál es su número de teléfono? Which means what's your phone number? Or you can simply ask ¿tiene teléfono? That is, do you have phone number? So, but the first question is more preferred. That is, ¿cuál es su número de teléfono? But su número de teléfono, this question is asked asked to elders or asked to someone whom we want to give respect. In other words, it means that it is used in formal way. And in informal way, that is with your friends or with someone whom you to someone whom you know very well, or to someone who is younger than you, we ask the same question as ¿cuál es tu número de teléfono? Which means what's your phone number? Now let's see a conversation between two people where the exchange of personal information is necessary. Buenas tardes.
Buenas. Quiero tener mi carnet de estudiante. ¿Qué necesito que hacer?
Necesito conocer tus datos. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Yo soy Alicia.
¿Cómo te apellidas?
Apellido Rodríguez. Alicia Rodríguez.
¿Y cuál es tu número de teléfono?
Mi número de teléfono es 689-45100.
Muchas gracias. ¿Ya tienes tu carnet de estudiante hecho?
Oh, gracias. Ha sido muy rápido.
So the conversation that you just listened, I'm now going to translate this conversation so that in case of any doubt that you might be having, you can understand what it means. So the translation of the same conversation is: good afternoon. Good afternoon. I need a student ID. What do I need to do to get it? I need to know your personal information. What's your name? I'm Alicia. What's your surname? Rodriguez. Alicia Rodriguez. And your phone number? My phone number is 689-405-100. Thank you very much. Here you have your student ID. Oh, thanks. That was fast. This was the translation of the conversation that you just listened. Now I'm sure that you must have paid attention to the use of whatever you have learned till now. For example, they use buenas tardes or buenas, ¿cómo te llamas? And ¿cuál es tu número de teléfono? Y muchas gracias. Now we will learn how to say goodbye in Spanish. Goodbyes or farewells are known as despedidas. So bye or goodbye in Spanish can be said in several ways. The following two are the most common one which you will here in any situation. For example, these two are hasta luego, which means see you later. It is used normally in colloquial send-offs, hasta luego, or adios, which means goodbye. It is used for more lasting farewells. So you might have heard one of these two, that is hasta luego or adios. Now apart from these two, there are others as well, like hasta mañana, which means see you tomorrow, hasta pronto, which means see you soon, hasta el sábado o el domingo, which means see you on Saturday or Sunday, and hasta la semana que viene, which means see you next week. Now in all these four expressions that I just mentioned, you must have seen that with each one of these, hasta is used. So hasta means until or till, and hasta can be used with a time expression to indicate when you will see that person next. So you can use hasta with a weekday, for example, hasta el sábado, which means see you on Saturday, hasta el domingo, which means see you on Sunday, and it is used to indicate which day of the week you are meeting the person. So you add hasta with the week, any of the days. So let's see what are the days of the week. The days of the week, which is los días de la semana. They are lunes, which means Monday, martes, which means Tuesday, miércoles, which means Wednesday, jueves, which means Thursday, viernes, which means Friday, sábado, which means Saturday, y domingo, which means Sunday. So I repeat, the days of the weeks in Spanish are lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo. So for using the hasta, or for saying when you will meet that person, and if you know any of the day of the week when you are going to meet the person again, then you can say, for example, if you are meeting the person again on Monday, then you can say hasta el lunes. If it is Tuesday, you can say hasta el martes, and likewise. Now some other commonly used expressions for saying farewells are nos vemos, which means see you around, or nos vemos pronto, which means see you soon, or you can simply say ciao. Ciao means bye. And after this we add, suppose if it's Friday, then we say buen fin de semana, which means have a nice weekend.